Hi, this is Greg Unthank with eXp Realty, and in this short video today we're going to be talking about how to overcome your biggest obstacle when competing in today's housing market. And that obstacle is contingencies. When you make an offer on something contingent on something else happening. And the two biggest contingencies are one for your financing and one for the sale of a home if you have a home to sell. And the problem with contingencies is that home sellers today have so many options when they put their house on the market that it's difficult to compete. They're looking at possibly buyers with stronger financing that you currently have, maybe a conventional loan where the perception is that the lender is going to be less critical on the condition of the property. You're going up against large down payment buyers. So buyers putting 20, 30, 50% down are deemed to be stronger than somebody who's putting 3 or 5% down. You're also up against cash buyers. These are buyers who have assets and they're going to live in the house themselves and can pay cash, or buyers who are investors, maybe out-of-town companies who are coming in, purchasing properties. They've got millions of dollars to work with, and they're putting the houses out there as rental properties once they close. You've also got buyers who don't need to sell a home first, so there's, again, fewer landmines in the process, where a seller is more likely to take an offer that doesn't have a home to sell before they can buy the new home. So the solution to this is to kind of fight fire with fire, to become a cash buyer yourself. And you might be thinking, well, that's impossible. I just don't have those kinds of assets. So the way it would work is you'd become what's called a power buyer, meaning you're backed by a third-party company who basically converts your traditional home loan into a cash offer. The benefit of that is that the seller only sees the cash offer, and you're going to go right to the top of the stack, competing with the very best offers that they have to look at. Now, you can either close with a cash offer, or you can go ahead and close with your pre-approved mortgage. And I can talk in more detail about that when we have our consultation, if you're interested in this program. But just know that it doesn't mean you have to somehow come up with cash on your own, or have only a cash offer with maybe bad back-end terms. You're going to be using your actual pre-approved mortgage like you always will. Now, this is not a rent-to-own program per se, but there is a rental option involved where you do have time to move into the home, finish up your financing, or finish up the closing of your current home, something like that. There is a way to make that all work and still move into the home right away. This program is perfect for very solid pre-approved home buyers, and also home buyers who have homes to sell and they have to close on that home before they can buy the new property. So looking at a couple of examples, let's say that you're looking at a home. The price is $250,000. You've been pre-approved for a 3% down conventional loan, and it's a hot property. It's a property that you're really interested in, and it's one that seller is going to have 5, 6, 8, 10 offers, who knows. So what we're going to do then is we're going to present a cash offer to that seller. And this cash offer does not have any contingencies on an appraisal. There's no lender underwriting involved. All that seller sees is the cash offer, and the seller knows that less can go wrong when there's no lender involved. So they're more likely to accept this offer. Then on the back end, you would have the choice of whether you want to close with the cash offer or do it with your current pre-approved home loan. And again, we can get with you on how that would all work and how it does work. Example number 2 would be if you currently have a home and you need to sell that before you can buy the new home. So in this example, the house that we're looking at is $400,000, and you've got that sale contingency for your current home. Well, as we've mentioned, the seller is going to have more than likely other options with people who don't have to sell a home first. So it puts you at a disadvantage with that contingency. So again, we would make the cash offer on the property, no contingencies with underwriting, no appraisal contingencies. You know going in, really on both of these examples, what's the maximum you're going to be able to offer and what the rent might be if you do have to take that rental option to make the deal work. So back to example number 2, as that power buyer, you're going to pay cash. The closing can happen in as quick as 14 days. You would then move into the property and at that point sell your current home if you don't have it sold already. If you do have it sold, then you'd kind of go back to example 1 there and use the cash offer as more of a supporting a backup offer. But assuming that the house that you're living in now still has to close, then you would take that rental option, move into the house, finish up that sale, and then you're buying the house back at the same price that it was purchased at with the seller. So again, we can go over all of these details, but the point is you're not going to pay any kind of inflated back-end price or something like that if you do have to move into the property first. So how does it all work? So the first thing is the property has to qualify, meaning it's got to be in good basic condition. It can't be a foreclosure. It can't be a fixer-upper, anything like that. Secondly, you've got to get pre-approved with a lender because we're going to be working with a conversion most of the time of the cash into your pre-approved home loan. That needs to be real solid going into the process. You also have to be able to pay your own closing costs if you do the conversion. To go in and ask the seller to pay any concessions really defeats the purpose of the cash offer. So you want to be able to pay those costs yourself. As mentioned, when you go in, you're given the maximum cash amount that you can offer on the property. It's usually very competitive, often over the asking price, and there's a way to even increase that even more if the home is especially in demand and there's a lot of competition for it. You're also given up front that number of what the rent's going to be, and it's based on an algorithm that looks at rents for a particular market area, and that's what you would pay. Now, the company that backs you in this doesn't do it for free. There is a fee that's involved, and that's depending on how we structure the deal. And it'll be 1% to 2.75% of the purchase price of the home. 1% would be if you just need it as a backup. The higher rate would be if you're actually going to go through with the cash purchase and then buy the property back. So there's a little bit more risk involved with the company supplying the cash offer if you are moving in and haven't closed on your loan or got your home sold yet, so the rate's a little bit higher. You can either close with the pre-approved loan or buy the home back at the agreed purchase price with the seller. As mentioned, there's no back-end price increase. So if this sounds like it might be of interest to you, if you're pre-approved and you're tired of getting beat out for homes when they come on the market, if you're a current homeowner and you'd like to put your house up on the market, but you're afraid to do that because you don't have a property picked out first, this would be a way to find that home first and then put your home on the market and get it sold without having to put that contingency in your offer that your home has to sell first, which a lot of sellers don't like. So if that sounds good to you, the next step would be just to set up a phone call. No sales pressure, nothing like that. We're just going to go over more details about the program and see if it's a fit for you. You can call my direct line anytime, or you can go ahead and click that link and put a call on my schedule at your convenience. So thank you so much for watching, and best wishes in your home search.